considered to be joined to the temple. Again, she had a son. God has given glory, always given glory. I guess something to do with glory in the name Judah. I don't understand that particular one. Rachel is not happy about this. So she gets her slave girl, line 33, Bilhah. And it's the same as the Sarah Hagar material. But these slave girls are not uppity. And Rachel's not angry at the slave girl. Or the servant girl, if you prefer. And so Bilhah conceives, and the son is reckoned to Rachel. So who does she give birth to? Dan. Dan means to judge. So you see, he's done me justice. Judge properly. And then she had another one. And this one has to do with God's fight with my sister. For some reason, Naphtali means that. Now Leah isn't having a good time bearing, so she gets her slave girl, Zilpah, and gives him to Jacob. And so another son comes. Something to do with good fortune. Gad, I don't know exactly the relationship there. And then she has another one. Asher means fullness. Here it says happiness. And now, here's the story about Reuben. Reuben goes out and is getting corn, and he finds some what are called, in my translation, mandrakes. Is that what your translation says, line 14? I don't know what they do, but I think they're supposed to be an aphrodisiac. To get him worked up for their mother, you see. And Rachel says, look, give me some of your son's mandrakes. But Leah said, no, you've got my husband, now you want my son's mandrakes too? Okay, he can sleep with you, give me some mandrakes. Come, I've hired you at the price of my son's mandrakes. So who slept with who here? Jacob slept with Leah, okay. For some reason, Reuben's blamed here. I don't know what. In later blessings from Jacob to his sons. I don't understand what the problem is. Anyway, because there was some payment involved, he's called Issachar, which has to do with doing business. And then a sixth one is born, and that's Zebulun. And I don't know what the reason for that is. And then finally a daughter is born, Dinah. And line 22, finally God remembers Rachel, took away his shame, and gave her another son, because Yosef means to add to, an additional son to add to, Yosef. Because God gave me another son. And at that point, who's not born yet? Benjamin isn't born yet, according to this one. But at this point, Jacob wants to leave, right? That's the story from 25 to 48. And what does Laban say? He doesn't want him to go, right? Because they both increased a lot, and they don't know how to split up the herd. So Jacob says, okay, you don't have to pay me anything. I'm going to go through the flock. He's always cagey, 32. I'm going to take out every black animal among the sheep and every speckled animal among the goats, 32. That'll be my wages. And so you can check me out then. Okay, let's do it like that. So that night he took out the striped and speckled goats and the spotted and speckled she-goats. I can't even follow all this. And all the black sheep, and handed them over to his sons, and put 3 days' journey between himself and Jacob. I really, so in other words, I don't know, what's he done here anyway? He's done some trickery here, because he gets the animals to mate here in front of some branches that he had. This is an old wives' tale, how you get animals to breed in the right way. And they produce striped, spotted, and speckled young, 39. And for the sheep, he kept them apart. So in the end, anyway, there was some total of what he did was, because he was taking care of the animals, he got the ones that he wanted to multiply and the ones his father-in-law to trail off. So that's pretty sneaky, right? And also the feeble animals he didn't breed either. Thus Laban got the feeble ones, Jacob the sturdy ones, and he became owners of large. So the Bible's not judging that this is bad behavior. I mean, we wouldn't think that was very good behavior, would we? So now Laban's sons are angry, 31. Jacob's taking everything. You better get out of here, Jacob, because my sons are getting angry. So they got everything together, Rachel and everything else. Look, I worked like hell for your father, line 7. Your father tricked me 10 times out of wages and so on and so forth. So he goes on about this spotted and striped situation. You can read that better than me. And again, more about this spotted and about, I am the God of Bethel, line 13 and 14. So he has a vision of that God of Bethel, which is the northern kingdom's shrine, not Jerusalem. And Jacob, Israel, is going to be the father of the northern kingdom. In any event, when all is said and done, he takes off and even stole, line 19, the household idols, which seems to be something important to these people at that time. And he fled all the way to, almost to the river, I guess Euphrates or someplace, and was getting to Mount Gilead in Transjordan. And then Laban caught up with him. Why did you run away, line 27, in secret and stole everything and didn't even let me kiss my grandsons and things like that and made me into a fool? And why did you steal my household gods? He says, whoever is in possession of these gods shall not remain alive. I didn't take them. And Rachel, according to this story, took the household gods. Laban went through the whole tent, and but she's sitting on the gods, and she's in her period. Line 34, and he says, look, Dad, you can't look under where I am because I'm, in my period. So Laban didn't search there. And so she was saved, according to this story. So anyway, the upshot of all this is that they make a treaty, line 48. There's another place named treaty area, story related to a location. This is called Mizpah in Gilead, which is across the Jordan where you'd go towards Syria, like they would drive there to get to Iraq today.